Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Today, I'm going to talk about one of the first mentors of my life. My first English school teacher, Mrs. Colin Smith. Or rather say, Mrs. Grumpy. Now I'll tell you about Mrs. Grumpy. She never used to utter anything from her mouth. All she used to do in a class or in the assembly was, done. We used to listen to her. So that kind of personality was always there at the school. And she was the first mentor that I have ever got. So with this thing, let me take you back to the year 2012. When I was in the final year of my school, Mrs. Grumpy called me up in the staff room. I got scared. I asked her, "What, ma'am?" She said, "Are you interested to participate in the elocution contest?" I said, "No. No, I'm just asking." I said, "Yeah, okay. That's fine. We will sign your name." I said, "Fine." And that's how with my journey with the first and the best mentor I've got in my life started. And let me tell you, the elocution contest of class 12, or rather the final year of my school, was very different from the other years. Because in the other years, you are expected to go on the stage and repeat a speech which is already there, like a poetry or something. But the class 12 was very different. It was much like the table topics of Toastmasters. You have to prepare on the spot. Unlike Toastmasters, we are given some minutes to prepare and you're giving a speech of 1 to 2 minutes. There, you're given a 1 hour time and you have to give a speech of 15 minutes. I was scared because I have never done it in my life. I told my ma'am, Mrs. Grumpy, that this is what I face. How will I come out of that fear? But that is where she said me something, or did something rather, say, she strategized something which I always adore her for. She said, "Don't worry, let's take the 2 hours for rehearsals. I will give you a topic on the first period. You come back to me after 2 hours and we will see what you can do in 15 minutes. First day of the rehearsal, 2 hours I took, I gave a speech. Second day of the rehearsal, 2 hours I took, I gave a speech. And 2-3 days later, she said, "Okay, let's reduce the time to 1.5 hours. Let's see what you can do." And that day also, 1.5 hours, I was getting slowly more comfortable in delivering the speech within 15 minutes. Slowly, she reduced the time to 1 hour. And I was still comfortable. But there she did something very bad. She said, "From the next day, you are getting half an hour to prepare and give the speech within 15 minutes. I said, "Ma'am, in the finals we will get in 1 hour. I said, "Just trust me. Do it." And from that 1 hour, my time was reduced in the rehearsal to half an hour, and from half an hour, it got reduced to 15 minutes. 5 days, 2 days, 3 days before my contest, I was given just 15 minutes to prepare, and I was giving a speech of 15 minutes. I didn't realize what it was doing to me until the day of the finals. When the finals, my name was called out and I was given a topic, and I had 1 hour to prepare, that became a cakewalk for me. Because for all these 5 days, I've been doing it for 15 minutes, and that time I get in 1 hour. And that is exactly where the beauty of the mentor comes in. She pushed me to an impossible level. She pushed me to a level which I thought I will never achieve. And that is what the mentors are for. And that is what makes Mrs. Grumpy so beautiful. But in spite of all this, we knew there was something in my speech. I always complained to her, there is something in my speech which is not making it captivating, which is not making it audience friendly. What was that? She said, "It must be in the script that you're doing. Within 15 minutes you're doing something wrong." She advised me something which I still use at Toastmasters, and I use it for my own mentees, and I will tell you what. She said, whenever you're going or preparing a speech, don't think yourself as a performer. We know who is a performer. A performer is someone like a musician. He comes on the stage, he plays his music, he goes away. Performer. A dancer is a performer. He comes on the stage, she dances or he dances, and that's it. That's what the audience has come for. The dance is what communicating to the audience. But when you're a speaker, you have to have the trust of the audience, you have to have the eye contact with the audience, and most importantly, you have to make the audience comfortable within the first 2 minutes of the speech. Otherwise, you lose it. So once you prepare and come on the stage and you wrote or repeat a particular speech, you will never have that connect. Have a little bit of light humor, have a little bit of impromptu things in the speech so that it doesn't look like a performance. And I've seen so many times me myself making that mistake of preparing an exact word-to-word speech and delivering it on the stage. Mistake I always do, or I used to do, was to think myself as a performer. And trust me, the day I stopped thinking myself as a performer was the day I started making better speeches. 7 years later, all these things come back to me at Toastmasters. Every time I'm a mentor to someone, I'm evaluating someone or even asking for advice, the first thing when someone is given the icebreaker, I always have this dialogue for them. Don't think you're a performer. Think yourself to be a speaker first, performer later. Try this and you will have the best speeches that you will deliver. Not only that, there was one more thing, I being nervous on the stage. Collins Map solved that also. Now, I had a very bad habit, I will tell you, of coming on the stage, my legs used to tremble. I think many of you will have that. Either your hands will sweat, or you must be very nervous to make eye contact, your legs will, something like that will happen. Everybody has their own way of being nervous, and I was always like that. Coming on the stage, legs trembling, forget. Everything, whatever I prepared, done, dusted. But she told me, you can try one thing. Whenever you come on the stage, you start your speech with pacing up and down. Right, left, and then settle in the middle of the stage, and then deliver the rest of your speech. In that way, in the first minute, you're not getting nervous because your legs are not trembling. Your legs can't tremble if you're walking. And the first minute after your speech, you will get comfortable in the stage with the audience, and there is no chance of forgetting. And trust me, it works in Toastmasters as well. Every time I face a new audience, every time I go to a new place, I have always that fear of my legs trembling. And I think many of you will have that. Trust me, I do that, and every time it works. I start walking a little bit and then try to settle on the center of the stage. It works like a jiffy. These are the things that I relate from my school life to my current life. And that is what exactly the role of mentor is. That is what is the kind of mentor I want to be. I want to be someone's Mrs. Collins Smith, who will remember me for a long time for the little tips that they have given me, and I'm looking forward to this journey in the coming days with all of you.